Good morning, team. How are we all? I hope you're all well. I hope you're having a nice, holy shit. Look at the size of this wasp. Can you see that? There's actually a wasp's nest, like, up there. My dad was meant to go up a ladder and get it, but that's been on the trend, like, that's massive. Anyway, how are you all? I hope you're all well. Welcome back to another video. This video is going to be based on, as you've guessed by the title, sleep and how to improve your sleep. So throughout the video, I'm going to give you my tips in regards to how you should, or what you can implement to improve your sleep. It's something that I've been taking seriously for a long, long time now, and every single aspect of your life will improve if you prioritise your sleep. So, by the way, I do apologise if that alarm clock gave anybody anxiety. Like, when I hear my alarm clock go off, like if I'm making chicken or whatever, and the alarm goes off, I'm like, oh, just fucking turn that alarm off. So I do apologise. Anyway, tip number one for improving your sleep is wake time. Try and have a similar wake time every single morning, even on the weekends. You'll probably see that in the weekends people go, I'm going to sleep in, I'll get a long lie, then you wake up feeling worse or more tired. That's because your internal body clock is out of sync, so you don't want that. So maybe give or take half an hour. If you want to give yourself an extra half an hour at the weekend, that's fine. But tip number one in regards to improving your sleep is have the same wake time. A few of you might have remembered that last week on my YouTube vlog and on my Instagram story as well, I mentioned the fact that me and Alex sent away a food intolerance test. Now, to be honest, I was pretty sceptical in regards to how they could give me that much feedback. 67 pages of feedback with 2 of my hairs. And I was like, right, I don't know how that works, but whatever, I'll go with it. When we got it back, I was like, just things that didn't make sense. Like one of Alex's things was, right, you can't eat oranges, but orange juice is fine. And I was like, do you know what I mean? Orange juice comes out of fucking orange, mate. Like, how does that make any sense? Anyway, mine was like, I don't ever drink alcohol. Well, I very, 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 very rarely drink alcohol. When I do, my treat would be a strawberry daiquiri. That's like the pinnacle of what I enjoy. But apparently I'm not allowed alcohol or strawberries, so that was my life ruined. Anyway, throughout this video, I'm just going to try and give you tips instead of overloading you at the end in regards to hundreds of sleep tips. Obviously, we spoke about the first tip in regards to having the same wake time. Tip number 2 is going to be daylight exposure, or sunlight exposure to be exact, alright? This is going to help massively with your circadian rhythm and your sleep cycle. You want to try and get like 30 minutes of sunlight per day if you can. I know that's going to be hard for some people, especially those who say work an office job or don't, or can't get outside. Even if you can get outside and go like a 20-minute walk on your lunch break, or even sit outside to eat your lunch, that's going to help massively. So tip number 2 for improving your sleep, daylight. So that's us at the gym for an upper session, and the last time I let you know about how my training was, I was obviously unwell. I think that was like my first session back was an upper session. This time like 8 days ago would have been, as I said, it was first session back after being not well, but training's been perfect since then. Food's been going in better, body weight's now up to where it was before, so everything is back to where it was, which I knew was going to happen anyway. Anyway, in regards to this next tip number 3 is like pre-workouts and caffeine. Have a cut-off point for your caffeine, alright? The amount of people that will say to me, alright Ben, should I take supplementation, should I take this or buy that? And I'm like, you told me you just took a pre-workout before you train and you train at night, so just don't do that. If you are going to train later on at night, have a non-stim pre-workout. That's still fantastic in regards to giving you blood flow, etc, and cognitive function without the caffeine, so it won't interfere with your sleep. In regards to caffeine cut-off point, I have mine around 3 o'clock. I don't actually consume that much caffeine. The reason I'm telling you this is caffeine has a half-life, which basically means half it will still be in your system several hours after you consume it. So if you take it at, say, 5 o'clock, you're still going to have some amount of caffeine in your system at like 11, 12 o'clock at night. Now, some people will say, no Ben, it's fine, I can still sleep after a pre-workout, it's no bother at all, like it doesn't keep me up. That's fine, that might be the case, but if you're trying to get the most percentage out of, like, squeezing every single ounce of progression you can, you want to try and maximize your sleep. So yes, you might be able to go to sleep, etc, but you won't get as good quality of sleep as you would if you didn't consume that caffeine. So we are just arrived at the gym now. I've already consumed my half scoop of pre-workout because I'm a fucking pussy, with a non-stim pump formula in there as well. So yep, it's now 2:30 in for an upper session, which I'll take you on in a second.
I'm out for maximum profit, money, bands, pounds is the topic. I'm getting dough, I can't stop it. Green, I cop it and shot it. I'm out for maximum profit, money, bands, pounds is the topic. I'm getting dough, I can't stop it. Flying this draw on a regular, another brick just went off my cellular. All these birds around me, got a nigga feeling like Hugh Hefner. I got birds around me all the time, give it a set, these birds gonna fly. And I got birds trying to bring up my line, they say they love trap TR all the time. My line don't ring for a bend, son, you know trap's got more green than hedges. I've been on draw for a while, big bro stays on slow like sledges. I don't fuck with the hard if we talk this charge, though I gladly press it. Step with an easy, don't peck 'em. All blacked out when we go to a chefin'. You can still get shot without teasy, do that easy. Pull up suave, pop out cars, toxic shells. These ones spread so you won't get far. Bro trying to leave caps red like boys in the hood when he needs out hoopties. Roll with my dog like Charlie and Snoopy. Rolling with Smokey even for a movie. We heard it was live and the tea didn't waste no tea. Got fucked in the heady. Couldn't care less when I bust my cake cause I love my page, so fuck with the readies. I'm ready, I'll hold that steady and cook that manny and free in the belly. I'm lying in a week by Jesse, dangerous love by W Melly. Music for now is a tiny boost, but soon I'll be shelling out gigs. Bros got dubs and I got piff bud, I just link my plug for a brick. Green, I cop it and shot it. I'm out for maximum profit, money, bands, pounds is the topic. I'm getting dough, I can't stop it. Flying this draw on a regular, another brick just went off my cellular. All these birds around me, got a nigga feeling like Hugh Hefner. I got birds around me all the time, give it a set, these birds gonna fly. And I got birds trying to bring up my line, they say they love trap TR all the time. Flying this draw on a regular, another brick just went off my cellular. All these birds around me, got a nigga feeling like Hugh Hefner. I got birds around me all the time, give it a set, these birds gonna fly. And I got birds trying to bring up my line, they say they love trap TR all the time. Send out text on a Nokia, Sam just sung for a 9, that's proper. 15 3 5, that's Dave, and I just got Joe, let me get a force boxed up. Shout time always sits around Carney, I'll make sure my butt stays stocked up. Bro's got nose with a box like Arlie, but more time he's making it rocker. My man was the trap, phoned up bro, now he's firing up, oh. He took him to a town, left him in the yard like Home Alone. Always setting up shops in houses, that could be ends or unknown.
That's us back from the gym. Very, very, very good session. The gym is quite busy as well, so I'd say I used to see when I was younger. I used to like when the gym was busy because it created an atmosphere. See now, I would happily train in the gym myself. Just especially, it's not too bad if it's busy, but especially when people are on the same equipment that you want to go on, it's annoying. But anyway, it was a good session. Every single movement and every single lift was up, which is fantastic. I think on the incline press last week I got 52.5 for 7. And then I never actually checked. I thought I had it on 52.5 this week again. I was going to try and get 9, but it ended up being 57.5 and I still got 7. So I did feel heavier, but then again, we'll take it. But yeah, just in regards to like another tip for improving your sleep, is like after training, especially if you train later on the way home, like as soon as you're out of that gym, you should instantly think, right, cool, I need to try and lower my heart rate, relax, etc, etc. You could take ashwagandha and things like that post workout. I know people do it, especially after legs. I actually don't take any supplementation after training. My drive home is like half an hour drive home. I try and listen to a podcast or some sort of music that's more relaxing. That's going to activate your parasympathetic nervous system, which is like your relaxed state, if you want to call it that. So that's tip number 4 is after the gym, relax. So tip number, I don't actually know, this is my pre-bed sleep routine, so there's going to be multiple tips within this, alright? Obviously you can tell by the light, it's the following morning. I just thought with the props that I'm going to show you in a second, that it'd be better to do this in daylight, alright? But the first thing I want you to do in regards to pre-bed sleep routine or anything you do in life, there's always ways to do it before spending money, alright? You don't need to go buy supplements, you don't need to go buy this or buy that. There's always things you can do. The best thing you can do for your pre-bed sleep routine is have a bedtime. Have a set bedtime that you go to bed every single night. Even on the weekends, if you can, again, just at your wake time, stick to this by like half an hour or so. It's going to help massively, alright? One thing that actually used to help me a lot when I never had a solid bedtime was set an alarm half an hour before you want to go to bed, so that you can go brush your teeth, you can go get ready for bed, etc, etc, so that you're in bed ready to go to sleep by the time you set out, alright? Also, things like come away from your phone, don't scroll through social media, that'll just make your mind go a million miles an hour. If you are wanting to watch a telly, that's absolutely fine, but try and watch something that relaxes you a bit more, alright? So a nice film or whatever. Don't watch like gym motivation videos or whatever, or as Alex made me watch the other night, a fucking horror film. That's only going to put your heart rate through the roof. Well, it definitely put my heart rate through the roof, because she was sitting there like this and I was jumping about like a dick. What you can do is, if you do want to watch telly at night and you don't want to read a book or come away from the bright lights, is buy blue light blocking glasses. Alright, now I know you look like a bit of dick with wearing these, but these are going to help massively. They're going to block out artificial blue light. Now what we spoke about earlier when I was out a walk was natural blue light from the sun. That's good during the day, but when the sun goes down, you want to not consume any more blue light. However, this day and age, you have a phone, you have lights, you have a television. All that's going to do is make artificial blue light go into your eyes, so your body's still going to think it's daytime. So when you go to turn that telly off, your body's still like, what the fuck's happening? Like, it's still daytime, alright? So put these on 2-3 hours before bed. That's going to let you secrete melatonin and block out artificial blue light, alright? Next tip for sleep is during your sleep. This is one of the best things you can ever invest in. This is actually a very, very nice one. It has little like eye pockets where so it doesn't push your eyeballs or your eyelashes in. It's, again, like £10-15. It's a fantastic investment, especially in the summer months where it gets light at like, maybe not anymore, but it was getting light at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. If you don't have blackout blinds, it's a fantastic tool to make sure that it's nice and dark so your body still thinks it's nighttime, alright? Another thing, in the summer months, seagulls and shit. I don't know how many of you like, I don't actually live anywhere near the sea, but there's a big fucking seagull that squawks and hawks and whatever it does at like 4 o'clock in the morning and just wakes everybody up. So what I do is I buy, oh shit, these little things here. Earplugs, alright? Just silicone earplugs. Put 2 in, obviously, if you've got 2 ears. Put them both in your ears before bed. You'll sleep all the way through, or it's going to help you sleep all the way through. However, please make sure you wake up for your alarm. Put your phone under your pillow or whatever. I don't want anybody messaging me going, Ben, I tried your tips, but I slept in for work. That's not ideal, alright? The last but not least, if you really want to go there, lavender spray. In regards to having a lavender spray, I think it's actually proven that it helps you go to sleep. If it's not actually proven, it helps me go to sleep. I think the smell of lavender makes me feel nice and relaxed and ready for bed. So I think I've covered all my tips here. I'm going to just run through them again, alright, from start of the video to now, so that you can take a quick list. Tip number 1, wake time. Have the same wake time. Tip number 2, daylight. Try and get like 30 minutes of sunlight exposure per day. Tip number 3, caffeine. Cut out your caffeine. Tip number 4, make sure that you start to, after your session or whatever, activate your parasympathetic nervous system, so start trying to relax. Again, like, don't listen to crazy music driving home from the gym or whatever, alright? Tip number 5, I didn't actually discuss this, I was meant to do it there but I forgot. Cutting, and this is included in the don't spend any money before buying supplements. Things like food and water. Don't have your last meal like 10 minutes before bed. All that's going to make you do is feel very bloated. All the blood's going to be forced into your stomach to digest that meal, and you're not going to be fully relaxed. So cut out food and water, like honestly, like 2 or even 3 hours before your bed if you can. Obviously, if you're in a very, very, very high gaining phase right now, that might be difficult. But again, meal timing. If you want to know more information about meal timing, look at my full day eating. I talk to you about that. And obviously, in regards to the tips, eye mask, earplugs, blue light blocking glasses, and finally, some lavender spray. So if you can use all these tools and apply all these tips in regards to your day-to-day life, that's going to help massively benefit your sleep, alright? This has been a 5.5 minute clip. I do apologise for me talking for 5 minutes straight. I hope these tips help. I hope you enjoyed the video. I will catch you in the next one. By the way, I actually have some extremely exciting news for the next video that I'm actually about to record right now in regards to me starting my first dieting phase in 112 weeks. Alright? I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day and I'll speak to you soon.